Okay, now we're working on return values. So there's 3 exercises in this one. All right, so this one just return one more than the number and then use it. So let's bring up the assignment. So let's call this add 1. We take in a number, and then what we're going to do is simply return that incoming number plus 1. If you want parentheses, if that helps, we could definitely put parentheses around it. That's more like, anyways, we don't need that. But we're just going to return the incoming number plus 1, okay? So it takes in a number and it returns 1 more than that number. If you want, you could do like something like result equals and then return result. It doesn't matter if it's 1 line or 2. In the main part of your program, the part that is a function, call your function and test it out. Now, if all you do is add 1, 5, you didn't really test it, because if I run this code, nothing happens, right? Sure, it added 1 and got 6, but we never printed it. So we can print original was string version of 5, and after the function it is plus, and then we do the string version of the thing returned, right? Because it'll return a yeah, just doing that. Okay, yeah, it'll return a number. So yep, there we go. 5 and 6, done. Boom. Assignment done. You don't need this whole statement, but that's the real way to check it, right? Like, no, I passed in a 5, and then see what comes out. The most common mistake for kids beginning with return values is they call in the function, but they never use it, right? I shouldn't put in num1, right? You can just put in literally number 1. But this line of code, sure, it does the work and returns 2, but that's the same as writing a 2 here. That doesn't actually do anything. It's just sure, like it's a 2, which Python reads as true because it's a number that's not 0. So it goes, okay, cool, you just wrote true. Like, that doesn't do anything, but it doesn't break Python. Okay, but here we go, actually testing the code. So let's submit and continue. And then we'll go over to this one. All right, so write a function that takes 2 arguments and returns their sum and then test it out. Right, so here we're going to say, let's define sum. We're going to take in a num1 and a num2. And down here, we're simply going to return num1 plus num2. So we're just taking in 2 inputs, and then we're just going to return the value. Again, if you want to say result equals and then return the result, that's okay. But either way, you're returning their sum, which means them added together. And then we're going to test it out. So down here, I'm going to say print the sum of 2 and 5 is, and then I'm going to do the string value of the return. And so, or let's even say the result equals sum of 2 comma 5, and let's save it in a variable this time. And then let's print that right here, right? So let's run the code. Sum of 2 and 5 is 7. And again, you could have just taken this and directly put it right in the print statement. I just thought it'd be a little more organized and clean if I did it this way. 1 line of code to get the result and save it. The next line to print it. There we go. Okay, we got 1 more. Okay, and this is just converting between Fahrenheit and Celsius. So let's go ahead and do it. So write a function that takes in a parameter, a float, which represents temperature in Celsius. And yeah. Okay, so. Okay, so convert Celsius to, oh my gosh, Fahrenheit. How do you spell that crazy word? That's close. All right. So I'm going to go definition of Celsius to Far. Is that how you spell it? Fahrenheit? Is it written there? Yeah, Fahrenheit. Okay. I'm going to take in a float that is the Celsius, and I'm going to do a calculation. So I'm going to go far equals, and then it says right here what it is. So it's in parentheses 1.8 times the Celsius. And then we add 32, and then I'm going to return the far. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to go convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. and I'm going to go def var to cells, and we're taking in the var. Again, these are all local variables I'm creating, so I can reuse the same variable name down here. I create a local cells as it's coming in, and create a local var inside. I just like saying that. And so in here, I'll go cells equals, and that gives us the function, so var, and we just reverse engineer this, right? So first we take away that 32, and then after that we divide by the 1.8. Okay, there we go. Now we just need to return that value, so we return the cells. All right, so, oh, we were supposed to do that down here, so let's do it. There we go. All right, so now change 0f, so we'll say, I don't know, let's say converted equals, and we're going to call on, we want to convert Celsius to, so we'll go Celsius to var, and we'll put in 0, and then we'll go print converted, just to see if it works out right. So if we take 0 Celsius and we plug it in, we multiply the Celsius times 1.8, 0 times anything, and then plus 32. Most of you should know 32 degrees is freezing at sea level, normal pressure, and all that good stuff, and no impurities in the water. And anyways, we're getting off topic. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same thing down here. I'm going to use the same variable. It's global, so I am reusing the same one. So now we're doing 100. Okay, so that's the boiling point of water. That's going to be 212 degrees. That's pretty standard. Then down here, we want to do similar. We're going to go converted equals var to Celsius, and we're going to pass in a 40 as an input, and then we're going to print the converted, and then down here we're going to do the same thing, but with 80 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So let's run it. I haven't done these calculations in my head, but I know that's should be 32 and 212. Sure, those look good. Let's check the code. All is bueno. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I think this last thing's just a badge. Look at that cool badge. Input, output, it's a machine.